Hello everyone, I'm Lori Everett with Bond Architects, and today we're going to talk a little bit about recommendations that we would make for building renovations should Proposition L pass. So the one thing that we really want to focus on is ways that we can improve the patron experience at the building here. Talking a little bit about how we might do that. We know for sure that there are a lot of building systems that have just reached the end of their life, that aren't efficient, that create high operational costs, so we'd like to look at replacing those. In addition, we would like to provide adequate lighting. Again, the lighting, a lot of it is original or has been retrofitted, so it increases costs and really creates an inconsistent light level throughout the building, which is it's not preferred in a library setting. And then also we want to talk about the restrooms and ways that we can make those function better as well as be accessible for all patrons. A little bit of the history of University City Library. This building was built in 1968. A few of the things that have been done since it was built: in 2009, there was a roof that was replaced, and in 2014, there was a chiller that was replaced. In between there's been a few upgrades here and there with the funds that were available, but we really like to get into ways that we can make some great recommendations for the building at this time. First thing we want to talk about is the heating and cooling of the building. A lot of the systems are aging. The steam boiler and condensate return pump is approaching its life expectancy at this point in time. The cooling tower, air handling units, the baseboard heaters, those are all actually beyond their expected useful life at this point in time and really need to be replaced. And again, we discussed that there was a chiller that was installed in 2014, so that does have a little bit of life left in it. Getting into what we propose, if we can salvage what we can of the system, use some of the existing ductwork, but really replace the main core of the system, what we can do is have a more efficient running building. The operational costs can be reduced, the energy consumption lowers, and in reality it's going to give you a patron comfort that's a much better comfortable level for everyone, so it's going to make it a much more pleasant building to be in, both for staff and for patrons. Getting into the electrical system. The electrical system that's here now is original to the building. It's what was installed. So at this point in time, it's over 50 years old. There have not been many upgrades that have been done, and it does not meet current codes now. Also, a building built in 1968 has a much different electrical load than the needs of today's staff and patrons. So there's really just not enough electrical load to supply all of that electricity needed for the building. The panels that were installed were very common at the time. They're Federal Pacific. They are no longer made anymore, so to get parts for that is very difficult. They're generally used parts, and it becomes very expensive to try to maintain a system like that. Also, there are the lighting levels are inefficient. There's not enough exit signs, emergency lights. So we really get into life safety and the quality of the experience here as a patron. Lastly, the fire alarm system is not up to code, so we would like to upgrade that and make it all code compliant. Okay, so a proposed system for electrical. We would be looking at doing a new electrical distribution, a new fire alarm system, and putting in all new LED lighting. LED lighting has really become the standard nowadays. It lasts a long time. You're not up on ladders having to change bulbs, and it really lowers your overall operational costs for the building. We also want to make sure that we have a code compliant building with all of our systems. So again, we're going to upgrade that fire alarm, and we want to see if we can provide more outlets throughout the building so that people can come and charge their own devices and make it a more enjoyable experience while they're here. Lastly, we would like to talk about the restrooms. Nowadays, to meet codes, the number of fixtures that are here do not meet the count that is required for the number of occupants that are expected in this building. In addition to that, they are not accessible for all patrons. There's poor lighting. With that, there are safety concerns whenever you don't have good lighting in a restroom. The finishes are outdated, and they're just difficult to maintain. Whenever you have grout that's cracking and tiles that are coming apart, it really makes it difficult to maintain that in the building. So we would be looking at doing a full renovation of the restrooms. We would be expanding and enlarging a few of them where needed to get that accessibility. A few of the other ones, we may just need to move a wall or two, but we're going to update the finishes for all of the restrooms, get them all compliant, and make sure that we have a great consistent lighting throughout. In addition to that, we want to make sure that there's really durable surfaces so that it can be maintained and so that it has a life expectancy for several decades. Here are just a few examples of some restrooms that we've done in the past, just showing those finishes. If you just get good lighting and have bright finishes, how it can really transform a space. Also looking at the type of finishes that are done in here, they're very durable and they will last a very long time. So with that, we will take any questions.